We are in the process of trying to figure out what comes next for this building. We want to restore it fully. This is one of 3 historic buildings that the town of Pelzer owns, and we have plans putting them in place to start working on these buildings and saving them. You mentioned Pelzer as a historic town. It certainly is. It was built, a true mill town, built for the mill right down there on the river, and they started in 1881, and everything around here was constructed for the mill workers and the mill itself. So there were a lot of buildings all around us. This place was full. It was packed and full of life and activity, and the humming of the mill and the whistle of the mill is what you heard year-round, except on the week of the 4th of July. The lower mill property, we see that as a very important part, a vital part of our future. It was donated to a nonprofit called the Pelzer Heritage Commission, who then worked with some folks, very helpful folks in Columbia, to secure some EPA cleanup grants to clean up the land. It was an abandoned pallet shop at one time, and they cleaned it all up, and now it is ready for development. It is a prime site. It is right on Highway 8, which becomes 418, which I call the real Southern Connector. You can probably hear the trucks and cars coming by all day and all night right now. And it's right on the Saluda River, right at that beautiful dam, right there. And we're excited to see what's going to happen there. There are some plans in place, and there are many interested parties. We'd like to see some residential, along with a combination of retail. And what we'd really like to see are restaurants. Pelzer's ready for some new restaurants. The other 2 historic buildings are the hospital, which is right up the road down here, right across the parking lot from this gym. So since the 90s, it has been abandoned. It is still in good shape because everything they built in the 1800s was well crafted. And it's got a lot of different rooms. And our plan for that building is to save it, to fully restore it, and to let that be our new Pelzer Town Hall, where all municipal services take place. Now, the other building that we are looking at restoring is the old community building in the Monkey Park. I have been in touch with folks with some sort of historical society in Columbia to check to see if these buildings can qualify to be on the National Register, which I think they will be eventually. But the community building, we would like to fully renovate it, but also bring it into the 21st century with handicap accessible amenities, new bathrooms, but we wanted to make it a very appealing venue so that that can be a source of revenue as well for the town of Pelzer. And we'd like to rebrand it as Pelzer Hall. You know, I love the Monkey Park, and we're excited because, you know, we've got spring coming. We've got the Easter egg hunt sponsored by the Church of God next month. And we're looking at new playground equipment. We're about to engage with a very big change for everybody here. The biggest change that we've seen in a very long time. What I'm talking about is the sewer system and the water system. We are in talks to get out of that business as a town and to sell, first of all, our sewer system to REWA. We're also excited about potentially selling the water system to Greenville Water. It's not a done deal, but I can share that we are discussing the possibility. So if we switch over to these systems, we'll have a new bill, and it will come from Greenville Water. And so that municipal fee disappears. And so we're trying to figure out how we can survive if we make this big change. Like I said before, bring things in the 21st century, get out of the water and sewer business. Let's bring in these companies that have greater resources and greater manpower to fix these problems anytime, day or night. And also, even better, to lower those water bills for our residents. So we have seen more activity in residential construction currently than we have, honestly, since the late 1800s. And a lot of developers, contractors, home builders are talking with us, and part of making that happen is to figure out how do we get water and sewer to those locations if they are not directly on a repurposed lot. And so we are trying to figure out how that works. And I'm learning a lot of new things that I never knew I would learn about sewer and water. It's very interesting and very helpful for me to get my head wrapped around all of that. Growth is happening in West Pelzer and Williamston. Houses are going up, or plans for houses as well, all over the place. And this school district is definitely going to feel that impact. We just finished building 2 brand new middle schools, and it needed to happen. Our piece of the Saluda River is so beautiful, and it's so easy to forget about. We drive over rivers. Rivers in the past have been a dumping ground, but now everybody's realizing if you've got a river, you've got a potential gold mine in many senses. I mean, you remember when the Reedy River flowing through downtown Greenville was nasty, and nobody went down there. And they built a bridge over the birthplace of the city, over the falls. And, folks just drove over it, didn't think about it. Until finally there was some visionaries who said, this is a gold mine, like I said. And they created a true destination. Now, of course, that Liberty Bridge, the pedestrian bridge, is on every postcard image for Greenville when they make the top 10 list of every top 10 list in the country. And that's why everybody's moving here. So the river has finally got some attention. And Anderson County is also in support of this, and you're hearing about the new things that are happening at Dolly Cooper Park in Powdersville, and now our good friends in Piedmont, right up the river, are getting some attention too. They're going to have a new park area that the county has purchased for them. So it's all part of the Saluda River Blueway, where you can start up in Powdersville and travel all the way down beyond Pelzer one day. Kayaks mostly, some canoes, Timmerman kayak launch in Pelzer. And it is used a lot, and it's a partnership between us and the county.
Recreation and quality of living, and we always would be remiss if you didn't mention, one of the keystones with the Midtown Players here. Tell people how that's going and what's going on with that.
Greg, I always appreciate it when you ask me about Midtown Players. I'm put on a different hat now. I'm no longer mayor. I'm the executive artistic director of Midtown Players. 2 separate entities, not the same.
It's in Pelzer.
It's in Pelzer. It is. And golly, there's so much going on, Greg. We've just announced our brand new season for Pelzer. And we're going to start referring to it as not Midtown Players anymore. I mean, it's still the same company, but we're going to push historic Pelzer Auditorium. We got a new logo for it. Why are we doing that? Because we are expanding to Simpsonville. At the Simpsonville Arts Center, brand new, newly renovated place that used to be another old auditorium for a school. And Simpsonville has really rolled out the red carpet for us, buddy. They have purchased all the bells and whistles and given us all the support we could ever imagine. And we are ready to give them also a full season of shows. So, Lord have mercy. I got double the trouble, baby. I got 2 seasons.
Will they share any shows?
No, sir.
Totally different.
Totally different. We're going to have 6 shows in Pelzer and 6 separate shows in Simpsonville. Here in Pelzer, we're going to focus on the same types of shows that people have come to know and love. I'm going to tell you what they are in a second. And then in Simpsonville, we decided to specialize in youth and family shows. So you'll have the same quality, affordable entertainment and live theater experiences there, but it'll have a different focus. What's coming next, which I think is going to be our next hit to get us out of this slump, which is a themed concert of beach music from the 1960s called Under the Boardwalk. And we're in the middle of that. It's going to open next month on April 15, run for 3 weekends through May the 1st. There's no show on Easter Sunday. So don't show up thinking you're going to see Under the Boardwalk, because you ain't. And this has a live band. Many people in the band work at local universities like SWU, and our performers are excellent, and they're also local. So we went over some choreography last night. Golly, these songs are so good. Sitting on the dock of the bay, My Girl, A Little Bit of Soap, Up on the Roof, Stay by Maurice and the Zodiacs. I mean, it just keeps on going. The Drifters, man, it's awesome. I mean, it's the best music. So you got to come see it. I mean, it's just going to be great. And we've got this beautiful set. We're getting like a double level boardwalk. We're painting a beautiful scene at the beach inspired directly from Myrtle Beach. We've got a giant vintage Myrtle Beach postcard we put on the back wall. I just ordered some costumes last night, and they're inspired by the groups that sang these songs. And it's just going to be a trip back in time to some of the best popular American music ever written. And I cannot wait. Directly after Under the Boardwalk comes a 1-weekend concert that has been an annual event for us. It's called the Pelzer Gospel Homecoming. It is the weekend of Mother's Day, and it runs just for that 1 weekend. And we are putting together plans for that, and we encourage you to come see it, because this might be the last time we ever do it. Why is that? Well, because we have another new venue in town in Pelzer, the Levy Street Wedding Venue in the old Pelzer Presbyterian Church, and they are offering gospel concerts as well. So we're not going to compete with them. There's no need to do that. We have plenty of other things to do. So we support them. We welcome that venue. And that's great. We'll help each other out. After Pelzer Gospel Homecoming comes a hilarious and ridiculous Southern comedy set in Texas. It is the sequel to last fall's The Red Velvet Cake War. It is called Rex's Exes. Of course it is. And I am directing that, and I can't wait to get started. We've got some returning actors from the previous show and some brand new actors. If you didn't see Red Velvet, it doesn't matter. You don't have to see that to enjoy this one. Come on, see Rex's Exes. Hilarious Southern comedy. You can't beat it. And then after that, we're doing a show about Hank Williams Sr. called Lost Highway. It is a musical biography of his life and his music. We have a young man who will be impersonating Hank Williams Sr., playing guitar and singing his songs. We'll have actors who play instruments, and you'll be hearing most of his hits in that musical biography live. And I don't know about you, but I love Hank Sr. I love real country music. And I can't wait to bring that to life. And I think our people are going to enjoy that too. And the last thing we've got for this season is another annual thing that we do. It's a 1-weekend concert called Classic Country, which is perfect. We'll do it on the set of Hank Williams, the Hank Williams Show. And we're probably going to focus more on some of the classic female country artists. We've not done that a lot in the past, and I think it's time that we do that. So classic country, this might be one of the last times we do that too, as we shift to our next season of 6 shows. We're going to focus on those the 6-show season, and we might perhaps do a competition show. We talked about Romeo and Juliet in the past and how that went all the way to nationals in 2019. Well, it's been a few years, and we'd like to get back into that circuit because it's a lot of fun. You get a lot of feedback from outside this community, and it's also a source of pride for us and our patrons. So we're very excited about what's coming up. Now through August, it's just going to be nonstop. So really, get your tickets because we've got a brand new HVAC system. It's no longer going to be hot in there in the summertime, and we are ready to have some fun. And it amazes me, Greg, how I can look at the reports from a show and see where people are coming from. A lot of folks have the misconception that we're just serving our tri-town area, and we are. But the majority of people who come see our shows live 30 minutes away or more. We even have people coming down on a regular basis from Hendersonville, Asheville, Columbia, Hartwell, Georgia, you know? And it's crazy to think about it. It's only going to grow. Prior to the pandemic, we were at like 33,000 per year in attendance, which makes us one of the most attended locally producing theaters in the whole state. So yeah, it's only going to grow, and we're doing things now to get ready for that growth. We got a huge gift from the state of South Carolina to finally have our own lighting infrastructure and lighting instruments. We've been renting for 8 years. Renting. Just throwing that money away. And it's cost us like $19,000 per year in rental in some years. So that's going to be some savings for us, but also we will have that system ready to go by this summer. So you're going to see a lot of new changes. So something else that's going to be seen as a big improvement and change in Pelzer is that our council is going to get together and decide how to spend our money from the government for COVID relief. I have done my research to find out what is approved to spend that money on. We are getting the second half of that coming up, but the first half we're going to put into our budget for the new fiscal year, and it's significant. It's over $300,000. That's a lot of money for a small town. So we want to make sure that we spend that in a very slow, smart, deliberate way, to not waste it, to prioritize to our needs first, and not get excited and spend it on something that we're don't need yet. So we've not yet met, so I can't tell you what that's going to be, but I am of the opinion that I would love to pave our roads that have not been paved in a long time. Some of them are in rough shape and crumbling, and I want to pave the roads. I want to fix the sidewalks, and this directly affects all residents. We do have a number of roads that are labeled as state roads that you would not imagine to be state roads, and that is a whole different ballgame. So when we annexed everything, we now have two things: town roads and state roads. There's no more county roads. So we've got to work with DOT to figure out what we can do to update those and work on our infrastructure. And I think that's going to be, of course, very noticeable and something that our residents are really going to appreciate. So we're getting more lights. We're working with Duke Energy and inspecting every single street in Pelzer and seeing where we can add some more light to brighten those dark spots and make our streets even safer. So That's what I'm excited about. Now, I'm not going to promise you when it's all going to happen, because I know you'll hold it against me. But do rest assured that things are going in place to make this happen. And we're seeing money in the town that we have not seen in a very long time. You know, it's important that we all work together. And one thing that we keep talking about is linking physically the three towns with a trail system. Now, I know that Williamston is already working on theirs. They're ahead of the game. We've got plans. But my goal, of course, is to have the best trail system in the upstate. So we're going to be looking to see what they do elsewhere and steal their good ideas and improve on things that we see improvement on. But, you know, a lot of folks in Pelzer aren't quite ready for the idea of a walking trail or lots of parks. But, you know, sometimes you just got to see it and experience it. See it with your eyes and touch it with your hands before you realize how cool it is and how much it's going to improve our quality of life and our health, and also, again, to promote Pelzer as a destination place.